Yo, what's up guys? Overlex here. Welcome to another video. In today's video, it's gonna be a Photoshop tutorial and I'll be teaching you how to make thumbnails like me. So in the past I didn't make many nice looking thumbnails. So what I'm just gonna do is actually show an improved version. So what I wanna do first is actually show what I just made. So there you go, I made this one. I'll be teaching you how to make all of this by yourself. It's very nice. So let's make a new layer, undo that. So you pick any screenshot you want. So you take any screenshot you want from Minecraft. Let's say I have this one. So let's make it a bit smaller. There you go. Let's resize it. You press Ctrl T to resize it and then just use Shift to keep the aspect ratio. I'm actually gonna make it a bit like this. So I'm sure that it's covering everything, because probably with my last thumbnail it was actually not perfect like that. So first thing I want to do is actually add a border. So what I do is go like equal length from each sides by using this tool. It's the rectangular mark. What do we do? Right click, select inverse, layer via cut. Hopefully I'm not going too fast, but I'm telling you everything to do. You should pause the video if you want to follow it. So put drop shadow. These are my settings. These are a bit too big. Let's make it no, it's actually fine. 50. Let's go with 40 because we don't want it to be too much. Anyway, inner glow there. And this settings are messed up, so don't follow that. And you could either have it way too much like this or have something like 15, I'd say. 15 is too much. 14, yeah, there we go. 14 is looking nice. So now we have a nice drop shadow. So what I do is go in the main layer, not the border, image, adjustments, go to curves, make this like that. So now everything looks way too bright. Now we're gonna make the shadows darker. That's a bit too dark. And let's make everything lighter because it really makes a difference when it looks so bright. Anyway, this is a tiny bit too dark. There we go, that looks perfect. And what we can do now is actually make a new layer right above our first layer. Go gradient tool. Go from around center. It doesn't really matter. It actually doesn't. And go like this. You're like, but that doesn't look cool. What you go is click here, click again. Now use your arrow keys down to select through ones you like. So like this one, that looks decent, but it also looks too much. So what we do is use the fill and be like this. You're like, well, that looks exactly the same as the original, but as you could see, it gives like a blue effect. And it does something. I don't know whether you prefer this way or that way, or if you prefer over everything or nah. I usually like having it like this because it's just a screenshot. It doesn't really affect anything. Anyway, what you could also do is to get rid of all that, just expand it to remove all your setting thingies. It doesn't really matter. It actually adds to the thing. That's what people look in thumbnails, and for some reason people actually like them. So holding shift, you could select more than one item. Now we drag them into the group. So to keep all things neat, double click on group, right background. This is completely unnecessary. This is just to keep nice everything. So now what I usually have is the 2 text rule. In the past I made 3 text rule, but 2 looks way nicer. So I'm using Beva's Nui, and I use usually 150 or 200 text size. It looks fairly decent. So now, actually I'm gonna go with a rule of 3 for this episode to make nice looking thumbnails. So right now everything looks bland and boring. I usually have blue as my default color because I kind of like the color blue, and also because white and black will have some bad stuff with the strokes and everything, and it's just best to have a non black and white color. So anyway, now we're just lining up them to the center, which the pink line identifies where it is. Now we need the biggest one in the center. I just remembered. So 150, that's too small. 200, this is 200 as well, and this will be 250 then. Okay, actually it's a bit too much, so Control T, holding shift, there we go. Line them up. Now let's line the how to make. And you're saying it still looks pretty bad. And this is where the warping comes into place. So go to nice looking, go warp text, go to bulge, and whoa, delete everything, write minus, and do 10. And it looks like it's warped inwards, and that's what we want to do. Now, thumbnails, warp text, bulge, 10, and now also how to make, so bottom and top will be plus 10. Why is my text style like very bad? So I'll make it minus 90. Actually wrong way around. Minus 90 here. What we're gonna do, have a spread of 100 and the size a bit less. Usually if you have no outline, this looks fairly decent, but since we do have an outline, we're gonna keep it like this. It's a bit too much, some might say. Some might say it's not enough. But yeah, you could easily do it by lowering the distance and then just go size and less, and maybe let's give it with 18 and size a bit less. There you go. Let's make it a default, so every time we play around it will be good. Outer glow, it's way too big size, and we're not actually gonna use outer glow as far as I remember. We're gonna go to stroke. Stroke is like invisible because it's black right now. What we're gonna do is go to gradient, and I made a few in the past failed recording, so I'm gonna use this orange thingy. Now we're gonna make the angle to 90. And okay, I didn't mean to exit out. So now we have that. You could reverse it, but usually it's just your personal preference. What do you think looks better, what doesn't? So that looks decent. Gonna go to gradient. Usually I used to have this kind of effect, which was an overlay. If you go to lighten, it would go something like this, but as you could see, it doesn't look too nice, even with the inner glow. Well, the inner glow is messed up. One sec. It would look something like that, and that just looks horrible now that I look back at what I did before. So what we're gonna do is actually go with something a lot more simplistic, going from blue to white, opacity to 100. You could either make it like this, or you could go lighten. So I actually like the dark at the top. And now the inner glow is what we go after. The inner glow will help us a lot into editing this text. Now this is where the range actually does matter. It gives this very nice looking effect, which is not what I like from the inner glow. I expect some different stuff from the inner glow, but this also looks very nice. What I'm used to doing is just adding an effect like this, but on YouTube it looks very bad, so I'm just gonna keep it smooth. Keep it smooth like this. Actually, nah, I don't care about YouTube. I just want it to actually look great. Usually if something looks very precise and detailed up close, it will look horrible on YouTube because it's a small thumbnail. So I'm gonna go with 20. Stop mumbling on this, because this is just very nerdy in my opinion, at least for me. Now that if you have a text style that looks great, what we just do is copy layer style and paste and paste. So now we will obviously need to edit the layers, because as you can see they're like over each other. It doesn't look too nice, so it looks decent, I'd say. Edit the gradient if you want to like actually edit how it looks. But it's worth it, guys. Just it is worth it to edit it yourself. Just trust me on that. It's actually it actually comes out very nicely, and it depends on the like blue. You need more than the orange. And now let's go to the how to make one. And let's go gradient. And this is how you make a gradient. Double click on anything. Let's say you want a purple, or like a magenta going into a purplish, whatever color. Okay, this is red. I am smart. So click around, like let's say that looks fairly decent. And the magenta, let's alter it maybe a bit as well. Maybe let's make it darker. Nah, this looks decent. And this looks very flashy, which might work and might not work. And I'm still changing around my layer styles and everything, and yeah, that's why my thumbnails are very different, and I'm still looking for a consistent one. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Let's hope for 10 likes. What we could do right now is just go like this. So anyway, if this tutorial helped you or gave you a better understanding of what effect you might want to do, or what you should probably, what you're doing wrong or something, then yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, this is how you make a thumbnail like me.